What's up YouTube? This is Eric Kelly, aka The Tech Gentleman, bringing you guys another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 versus the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Before I get started, I want to remind you guys to hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. Also, if this video helps you out at all, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you got any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to get back to you. Without further ado, let's talk tech. What's going on, guys? So I know this video might seem like one that's kind of odd. It might seem like the Tab S2 versus the Tab S4 is a no-brainer. Obviously the Tab S4 is going to be better in a lot of ways, but I've been looking on YouTube and I haven't really seen anybody comparing these two. So if somebody has a Tab S2 already, they don't really get a chance to see directly what the benefits of having a Tab S4 would be, and also if they can justify the cost, because the Tab S4 is a costly tablet. So first up, I want to go ahead and give you guys an overview of the specs on both devices. So the Tab S2, if you don't remember, is a kind of plasticky build, a plastic back. It has the 4:3 aspect ratio similar to the iPad. The screen resolution is going to be 1556 by 2048. And you're going to have some bezels up here, right? Top and bottom. You got a button on the front, capacitive buttons on both sides of it, and you also have a fingerprint sensor in the actual home button down here. So reminiscent of most of Samsung's designs, especially for tablets, up until the Tab S4. Right, so if you look at the Tab S3, this looks just like it. As far as the specs on the inside of this guy, it's going to be a 32GB model, and it's going to be powered by a Snapdragon 652, which is a 2015 chipset. And also you're going to have 32 gigs of storage on the inside. So if that's something that's important to you, more storage, you do have the option of expanding with the micro SD card slot, but as far as onboard stuff, you're going to be stuck with 32 gigs on this guy. If you go over to the Tab S4, this has the all new design for Samsung. So glass and metal, similar to the Tab S3, but you get, in my opinion, the best aspect ratio for a tablet, which is 16:9. Also, you're going to get the higher resolution and higher DPI. You're getting 2560 by 1600 as far as the resolution goes. You get 4 gig of RAM on this guy, and you're also going to get a 2017 chipset and a Snapdragon 835, which is going to be drastically more powerful, more efficient also, and you're going to have better graphics performance. So power and spec wise, this guy's going to be better. Oh yeah, and this is the 64 gig model. They do have a 128 gig model, which will run you $750. This guy right here is $650. And as far as prices on the Tab S2, if you're looking to buy one right now, you can get the Wi-Fi version for around $170 to $200. If you're looking to do the LTE version, you can get that for about $300. So there is, is a drastic price difference, but you are getting this quite a significant upgrade. So obviously, visually, you get an upgrade. So you have a bigger screen and 10.5 inches on the Tab S4 versus 9.7 on the Tab S3. But also, like I said, you get a higher resolution display. You get HDR compliance. So just consuming media on the Tab S4 is going to be a drastically better experience. Things that you can't see though, the Tab S2 is going to have just two kind of side or bottom firing speakers. Also going to have a micro USB port for charging. This does not have quick charge, so just some of those modern conveniences that we're used to on newer devices you don't have. Whereas on the Tab S4, you are going to have that Type-C port, and you're also going to have quick charge, which is a huge difference, especially because the Tab S4 also has a bigger battery. This has a 5300 milliamp hour battery on the Tab S2 versus a 7400, I believe, on the Tab S4. Some other differences, you're going to have quad speakers on the Tab S4. So you get 2 sets of speakers on both sides, and they don't fire 4 at once. Well, they do fire 4 at once, but they're only going to give you stereo sound, I guess. But you do have the option to enable Dolby Atmos on the Tab S4, which is amazing. It sounds like a gimmick. I think a lot of people thought it would be a gimmick, but when you turn it on, there is definitely a difference. All right. So as far as the kind of the specs and the physical things, Those are going to be some of the big differences. You do get an 8 megapixel camera up top as well versus a 2.1 megapixel on the Tab S2. So like I said, all around, pretty much every spec you look at is going to be improved over the Tab S2. But that isn't, it's not really the whole story, right? So it kind of comes down to what are you going to use it for? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to justify paying, if you have a Tab S2 already, trying to justify paying $650 to $750 for a Tab S4, or even going so far as saying, I want to sell my Tab S2 and try to get the $150, depending on what kind of condition it's in. You may be able to sell it for $150 to $200 on the low end, and putting that towards a Tab S4, but you still got to come out of your pocket, $400 or so bucks. So just trying to justify making that leap over your Tab S2. Some of the lifestyle things you can't see, like I said, that increased battery and the better processor, isn't the whole story. The chipset in the Tab S4, which is going to be the Snapdragon 820, is actually on a 10 nanometer process, whereas the Tab S2 is on a 28 nanometer process. So basically what that means is this processor in the Tab S4 is going to be significantly more efficient. All right, when it comes to just really doing anything, it's going to be drastically more efficient. It's also going to be more powerful, so you're going to get not only better battery life because you have a bigger battery, but also better battery life because the processor is just more efficient. So you're kind of attacking the battery life thing from both sides. But also, like I said, you do get a graphical boost, so games are going to run better. The performance is going to be better. It's on a newer version of Android. This is on Android 8.1, whereas this right here is going to be on either Lollipop or Marshmallow, depending on the exact variant you have. They have some Exynos variants out there that are stuck on Marshmallow. So it's really depending on what you want to do with it. If you're consuming media, even though this has a nice AMOLED screen, it's going to be better. It's going to be like pretty much every facet of media is going to be better. The screen is bigger, brighter, HDR compliant. You also have the Dolby Atmos audio on this guy. The Tab S4 gets very loud, which has always been an issue for me on tablets. Even though I use headphones most of the time, Tab S4 gets very loud. But also the Tab S4 has kind of a double whammy because you get DeX mode on the Tab S4 as well. So that allows you to increase your productivity along with the S Pen support, which is also built into the Tab S4. That's something else that goes into the price as well. I think people don't think about, because there are Samsung devices that don't have S Pen support, even though right now that's all we can talk about are ones that do. But so let's go ahead and I'm gonna do a little face unlock deal here, or try to from behind the camera anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna pin it out. So kind of after doing an overview of the specs and kind of the pros and cons of having either the Tab S4 or the Tab S2, I want to kind of do some real world stuff. So we want to open a couple of apps, not many. It's not going to be a full blown speed test or anything like that. But this one, I want to start by opening a couple of apps that I think people might use the most on their tablets. So first up, of course, is going to be Netflix. So we're just going to do a little speed test, close out all the apps there. And there are none on Tab S4. So we want to go ahead and get lined up here. And 3, 2, 1. So a little bit of a speed difference there. Obviously, the Tab S2 is my daughter's tablet, so the content is going to be drastically different than what you might see an adult watching. Disregard that. And we're going to keep the app open in the background and go on to the next one, which is going to be YouTube. So 3, 2, 1. So pretty close there. Go back home, and another one you might use a little bit is going to be the Play Store. So 3, 2, 1. About the same. And let's see, something you should not be using, but I see people using anyway, is the camera. So we're going to go ahead and start that. 3, 2, 1. And kind of load it up about the same time. Samsung's pretty good about keeping the camera in memory. So a new one in this app, I know, if you have some older devices, it'll actually give you a notification saying your device is older. You might get poor performance as YouTube TV. So let's go ahead and see that. 3, 2, 1. And I'm getting these button presses on point here. All right, so they're about the same. And let's see, the last one is going to be the gallery app. Go ahead and start that. 3, 2, 1. So significantly more pictures on the Tab S4. No, I did not take these with my Tab S4. I've been doing some video editing on here, just testing it out and playing around with it. But so, like I said, this is a very small real world test. And what we can do is we can go ahead and go back through. And I'm just curious to see, those are just 6 apps. But just see, with the 3 gig of RAM on the Tab S2, have any effect on this ability to kind of store apps or anything. So go back to Netflix. 3, 2, 1. Nope, Netflix is right where we left it. Let's see, YouTube, right where we left it. And let's see, go to Play Store. It's already up. I need to load from scratch. And YouTube TV is up. And back to the gallery right quick. Yeah, so like I said, at least as far as 6 apps go that I think most people might use, the Tab S2 held up fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. But like I say, the charging on the Tab S4, once you have quick charge on a tablet, it changes your life. It will probably take about 4 to 5 hours to charge this tablet fully. This one probably in 2 hours, even with a bigger battery. And not even just going from 0 to full, but just the fact that you can throw the Tab S4 on the charger for a couple of minutes and actually get some charge. It can be at, 15 to 20%. You throw it on and at, 30, 45 minutes later, it's at 60, 70%, right? The quick charge drastically changes the usability of your tablet. Once this one went down, this was my wife's old tablet. When we had this guy, once it went dead, you were done on the tablet for the day, right? You had to let it charge overnight. That was really the only way that you could get it charged up enough to where you can use it without it dying again. Because even if you used it while it was charging, the charge rate was so slow that you wouldn't make any progress. So eventually it was just going to be dead. So lifestyle wise, that's a huge, huge benefit, the quick charge. Like I say, also the longer battery life and just the media, man. On this Tab S4, that is something that it's something I've really been wanting since the original Tab S. And now we have it, and I can't go back. I really can't go back.